Hello, users, and welcome back to Above It All, the show in where I preach to you my political opinions and I tell you who and what to vote for, like a good little drone, because that's all you are. Welcome back, everybody. So there is a primary going on, a Senate primary in a state that I don't even live even remotely close to, and I'm going to tell you who to vote for if you live in that state. The answer, Ed Markey. So it's Ed Markey versus Joe Kennedy, the fucking I don't know. There's fucking 37 of them. Okay, I don't really know. They all look the same. I feel like the Kennedys have if there's any proof of cloning, I feel like the Kennedys are gonna be like the clones. They're like the synths from Fallout. You know what I mean? They all act the same. They all look the same. It's just really bizarre shit going on. So you got Ed Markey, who seems to be a relatively well-adjusted person. I don't live in Massachusetts. I don't know their full fucking history. They look old, so they probably have fucked up at some point in their life. You know what I'm saying, right? So it's but I mean, goddamn, right? It's goddamn. It's, I don't know. There was a debate, I think, last night or the night before, and there's a few good clips of the debate floating around, but I figured this one was the best one. If I'm going to weigh in on this Senate primary, this one seemed like the best one to kind of talk about. So, without further ado, let's play the clip.
When Bernie Sanders and I introduced Medicare for all,
my back is really itchy.
Congressman Kennedy did not sign up. Took him 2 years to sign up. What did he do in the weeks after we introduced that bill in 2017? He went to Detroit to a Crane's Business Council, and when asked about Medicare for all, he analyzed its prospects, and what he said was, even if we had the House, the Senate, and the presidency, he didn't think Medicare for all could ever pass. He said it was better to just think about incremental change. That's not leadership. That's not vision. That's not standing up and fighting for what you believe in. That's how you get the votes. That's what I do on environmental issues. Well, I stand up and I fight to make sure that we get the votes.
It's a great clip. Really great clip. First of all, tying himself to Bernie. Obviously, this is Massachusetts. Obviously, Massachusetts chose Bernie over Warren in the primary. Let's not go back to that other primary. But, it's just clearly, in this instance, tying yourself to Bernie Sanders, who's the most popular politician in the country, by a metric fuckload and would be president if the Democratic Party had an open primary system that wasn't completely manufactured and rigged from the get-go, right? But, tying yourself to Bernie is a great idea for campaigning. Sure, tying yourself to Bernie, you're going to get that kind of neoliberal, oh my god, he's a socialist, he's a Jew, we can't vote for him. You're going to get that kind of crowd, right? But, that kind of crowd isn't going to vote for you anyway. And that's kind of the thing that I appreciate when people do that. That's what, in as far as electoral politics go, the whole Bernie or bust thing, I mean, it's plain and simple. If you do not support Medicare for all, you are in favor of genocide. You are pro-genocide. 40 to 50,000 people a year before the coronavirus, right, have died from preventable things, that if they had Medicare for all, they would be alive right now. For example, I've got cancer. Well, I don't know it's cancer, so I don't have health insurance. Let's just, ignore it. 7 months later, I fucking pass out at work. All of a sudden, my doctor tells me, because I get sent to the hospital, I wake up, I come to in the hospital, you got stage 4 cancer, you should have came in sooner. My response, okay, I didn't have health insurance. Oops. 2 months later, I'm dead. Okay? That's called genocide. That is a systemic, right? That is built into the system. It is on purpose, right? It is specifically fine-tuned in such a way that, rural communities are hit very hard in this instance. Lack of healthcare facilities in rural communities are a huge problem. It is systemic. It is targeted against the poor. And who's more likely to be poor? Minority voters, Black people, Latinx people, trans people, we have a very rough time when it comes to the healthcare industry. Let me just tell you, okay? I've gone through numerous things that I do not want to go through as a human being, but I've done it anyway because I just have a survival instinct. You know what I mean? But there's been parts of my life where I had no health insurance. I have family members that are dead because they didn't have health insurance, right? Being against Medicare for all in any capacity, right? Like, I get it. Oh, well, you know, I like the idea of Medicare for all. Like, that's the thing, right? Like, if you're a presidential candidate, you have to kind of take one way or the other. If you're this incident where you're like Joe Kennedy, the 420th, right? Why not just say, okay, I support Medicare for all, right? Like, your one vote isn't going to pass it, right? Like, it's not like you're the deciding vote, right? You're just being popular. You're advocating for something that's good that you should say that you believe in, right? Like, maybe incremental change is better, but, like, you're not going to get any incremental change. Donald Trump's the president. So just say, I advocate for Medicare for all. That's just going to be a more popular idea. It's going to make it more popular. You know what I mean? And that's the thing. And that's why, again, if you live in this area, I think the primary is on September. I looked it up before starting this video, but I got weed brain, so I think it's September 1st, but I could be wrong. You know, vote for the clear, better candidate. The guy who says, you know what? I'm against genocide of poor people. That's, in my opinion, a candidate worth voting for, especially when the other option is fucking Fitzgerald Kennedy, the fucking 5,669th. Seriously, though, like, they all look the same. It's really weird. You know, I know that, you know, they're offering, like, this is in Massachusetts. Like I said before, the Fallout thing, you know, I think the Commonwealth of Massachusetts was what created the synths in Fallout. I'm not sure if they were based on the Kennedys. Now that I think about it, you know, I have to replay Fallout 3 because, you know, you know, it's one of my favorite games. But I'll look into that more. I'll figure out what the basis of the synths are in Fallout, and I'm pretty sure that they are exact duplicates of the Kennedys. I'm pretty sure. Like, they just had, like, their DNA somewhere, and they're like, alright, let's just make 15 trillion clones. Because they all look the same. Like, I swear to God, they all look the same. It's really weird. Like, I feel like if you have children after so many generations, you'd eventually look a little different. But no, not these fuckers. They just all look the same. So it's really weird. But again, don't vote for this fucking dynastic fucking shit fucker. Get him out of there. We don't need dynasties. I don't know anything about Ed Markey other than, you know, basic shit, like he supports Medicare for all and stuff. But I mean, like, it's one of those things where it's like, there's a clear lesser of two evils here. I don't know anything about Ed Markey. He's a politician. He's from Massachusetts. I'll assume he's a bastard, like, just for the sake of argument. But he's a bastard that's nominally and ostensibly against genocide versus a bastard that's pro-genocide, right? Like, it's one of those things where it's like, right? I don't know. There's a pretty clear option there. Anyway, thank you for watching this video. If you live in Massachusetts and you want to give me more info, feel free. Leave an info dump in the comments. You know, do whatever. You know, I'm not a huge electoral person, especially when it comes to races that aren't where I live. But I do want to pay a little bit more attention to it, especially as the primaries get closer. And there's just a debate here, so it gives me good opportunity to talk about it. But there are also really other important primaries that, like, I would signal boost more, but I feel like anybody watching me already follows that. I don't know. Do you, like, maybe I should make this a separate video, but, like, I don't know. Should I really cover primary elections? Because I feel like other people cover them better. You know, I don't know. But either way, I thought I could talk about this for 8 minutes. I was not wrong. So thank you for watching, and tune in for the next video. Thank you. That is all. The video's over now. Turn it off. Okay, it's off now. Thank you. Is this still on?